and safe spaces, and they need therapy dogs to hug because of the election. I'm not making it up. You're laughing. I'm not making it up. This is all going on.
I just think they ought to get over it, you know? The idea of safe spaces and therapy dogs and crayons and delaying, exams. I mean, just get a life, get a job, get over it. He's the president. We voted for him. This is a democracy. You're anarchist. It's over. Enough. They need to be arrested. They damage property. Yep. They destroy businesses. They interfere with traffic. They have to be prosecuted. That's it. It's over. It's done. We voted, and you know what? They're lynching Donald Trump in effigy. If we did that to Barack Obama, we would be racist. We would be, it would be horrible.
You've got people burning the American flag at some of these events.
Yeah, burning the American flag.
It's protected speech.
It is protected speech. I understand that. But they don't have the right to disrupt traffic. They don't have the right to burn businesses and destroy people's, property. Yeah. It's a crime, and it needs to be prosecuted. Enough already.
Now, at the company Grubhub, that a lot of people use to order food, the CEO of the company is saying to his employees, those of you who agree with Donald Trump's rhetoric should resign.
He also said that he rejects Donald Trump's nationalist policy. We're either a nation or not. We are not a globalist place where people just come and drop off and collect money and food stamps, okay? And I think that this guy from Grubhub is setting himself up for a major lawsuit. And make no mistake.
Lawsuit?
I'll tell you why. He is setting himself up because he's already, established the mentality or
intolerance?
the atmosphere where we're not even talking about employees saying what they think. He's saying, if you don't agree with me, if you don't hate Donald Trump, then get another job.
Here's what he said. We have the email he sent to employees. While demeaning, insulting, and ridiculing minorities, immigrants, and the physically, mentally disabled work for Mr. Trump, I want to be clear that this behavior and these views have no place at Grubhub. Had he worked here, many of his comments would have resulted in his immediate termination. If you do not agree with this statement, then please reply to this email with your resignation, because you have no place here. We do not tolerate hateful attitudes on our team. Judge, at any business, aren't you allowed to have your own personal views?
You're allowed to have your own personal views. If you work for the government, your political speech is clearly protected. You have a First Amendment right. In some private businesses, you do not have the right to have this First Amendment political discussion. However, there are some states that explicitly allow you to discuss your political views. Here, this is very different. This is the employer saying, if you don't agree with me, if you don't hate the president and everything that he stands for, then resign or get your tail out of here. That tells me that he's going to discriminate. And if there is any disparate treatment against me because I voted for Donald Trump, or God forbid I said something nice about the president, then right now, he set himself up for a lawsuit.
Well, I tell you what, he's obviously feeling the heat, because after he clearly said that if you don't like it, just get out, now he's come out with a new statement. He says, I want to clarify that I did not ask for anyone to resign if they voted for Trump. To the contrary, the message of the email is that we do not tolerate discriminatory activity or hateful commentary in the workforce, and we still will stand up for our employees. Well, that's some good spin right there, but it was clear.
That is spin. He's not standing up for his employees. It's just the opposite. He's telling his employees, if you don't agree with my political position, then get your tail out of here. And you know what? He should suffer an economic loss because of what he did.
What's going to happen to his company?
You know what? Americans now know, and you know what? We elected Donald Trump president. This guy hates Donald Trump. He hates the idea of nationalism and our borders. Too bad. Suffer the loss.
So we can put you down as not wanting to order from Grubhub, right?
Not a chance.
Okay.
All right. By the way, something that is trending online right now, boycott Grubhub.
Ooh, what a shock.
All right. Judge Jeanine, thank you very much. We're going to be watching you this weekend.
Judge,
Saturday and Sunday.
Wait till you hear this story. Heather?
All right. Ainsley, thank you so much. Good morning to all of you. This video is shocking and offensive. A man viciously beaten, all because he voted for President-elect Donald Trump. Watch this.
Trump! You voted Trump! Oh, yeah! Yeah, he voted Trump! Yeah!
there, a group of men in Chicago seen dragging the victim out of his car in broad daylight. It all started with a fender bender. The man got out of his car to get his insurance information when another guy at the bus stop screamed, quote, "That's one of those white boy Trump supporters." Well, that man, the driver, admitted that he voted for Donald Trump and asked why that mattered. And then they started attacking. Onlookers recording all of it, cheering on the bullies, screaming, "You voted for Donald Trump." The victim was taken to the hospital. He is expected to be okay. Those suspects have not been identified. Chicago, once again. Well, people are trashing, torching, and even flushing their New Balance sneakers in protest this morning. This after the head of the company voiced his support for Donald Trump. A spokesman telling the Wall Street Journal that they back Mr. Trump because they're confident he'll move our country in the right direction. That shoe brand has been at odds with the Obama administration over the Trans-Pacific Trade Partnership, saying the trade deal will kill that company's attempts to make a shoe with 100% American parts. We've had him on our show as well. So how is this for fair and balanced? A journalist for the UK's The Telegraph newspaper calling for the assassination of Donald Trump, Manisha Raish, tweeting about this, saying, quote, "It's about time for a presidential assassination." Well, just moments after Mr. Trump's historic victory, she tweeted this, and she was instantly criticized, with users calling on the feds to investigate that threatening tweet. But once it went viral, her account mysteriously vanished. That page doesn't exist. You can see it right there. And those are your headlines. Wow, crazy times. Huh?
Rather than covering the news, she is the news.
Yep, that's right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, he helped Donald Trump win the election on Tuesday. So will he be able to help a Republican agenda get passed? RNC Chair Reince Priebus here to talk to Ed next. Good morning, Reince.
And this military mom is on a mission to teach children the ABCs of the Army. She's going to share her
Work with Mr. Trump to push his agenda. Let's ask the RNC chairman himself live this morning. Reince Priebus, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ed.
Good to see you. Speaker Paul Ryan says President-elect Trump has a mandate. What is he going to do with that?
Well, I think he's going to execute his plan. I mean, he talked about the things he wants to do: national security, immigration, the economy, 100-day plan, working with the Speaker and the leader of the U.S. Senate. All those things are really important. We have a mandate, and the American people decided to put the Republicans in control of the House, the Senate, and the White House, and that means that we now need to execute the will of the American people, and the will of the American people is to execute a plan to get this country moving forward again, and Donald Trump and President-elect Trump, that is going to make that happen.
Well, Mr. Chairman, though, is Paul Ryan as Speaker fully on board with this President-elect? Because Paul Ryan was on this program about a week and a half ago, and several times referred to the Republican nominee. He would not even use Mr. Trump's name. Isn't that a flip-flop?
Well, I think if you look over the last several days, he has, and by the way, he is 100% on board. Donald Trump is going to be the president, and he has a mandate, quite frankly, that our country hasn't seen since Ronald Reagan across the entire Midwest. And so the plan is going to get executed, and I think the American people should be encouraged by what President-elect Trump has said, both on Wednesday morning and what he's done yesterday. Yeah. He and the president had a fantastic meeting. They genuinely got along. It was real. And I think they had admiration for each other. And so that the American people should look at as an encouraging sign of leadership, that this next president understands that he's not just the president for the Republican Party. He's the president for every American, Democrat, Independent, everyone in between.
When you say that about how he's the president for all the people, what do you think about these protests around the country, some of which are now becoming riots?
Yeah, I just say, you know, I hope people just have an open mind and kind of just judge President-elect Trump by what is really happening, which is a person who's trying to bring people together, a person who sat down with the president yesterday for an hour and a half, a person who didn't brag, took out all the campaign-type rhetoric out of his acceptance speech and said, it's time to come together. I don't care what your gender is, what your religion is, what your race is. I want to make you proud of the job that I'm doing. That's what Donald Trump is saying. And so I would just tell everyone, today's Veterans Day. We have a lot to be grateful for. We're in the greatest country on the face of the earth. Let's be a team together take the weekend, and we will govern for everybody.
And Mr. Chairman, it sounds like you are a foot soldier in that cause. You want to get behind this agenda. Are you going to be the next White House Chief of Staff?
I honestly, Ed, I'm telling you, I don't. Number one, that's not my job. Number two, I don't have any updates for you on transition. I'm sitting here at the RNC, and it's a great job, and that's the one I'm doing.
But if the president-elect calls you, I got to pin you down. If the president-elect asks you to be the White House Chief of Staff, yes or no?
It's not something that I'm talking about right now, Ed. I mean, I know you're trying to pin me down.
Well, the
but
door's open.
It's one of these places. Yeah, listen. The president, the next president is going to be a great president, and I just hope everyone out there understands that he has a mandate. He has talked about bringing everyone together. He will be that person. I think he will be transformational, and I was just happy to be a small part of it.
Well, good. We appreciate you being here this morning, and good luck in whatever you do in the road ahead.
Thank you, Ed.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Coming up, a military mom is on a mission to teach children the ABCs of the Army. You're going to want to get this book for your kids. Angel